Welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan Lugo. Thanks so much for tuning in here on Saturday, September 9th. We are one sleep away from your Jacksonville Jaguars taking the field in Indianapolis against the Colts, their division rivals. Big week one matchup for the Jags, trying to get to 1-0 in 2023. Big expectations for this football team. We're going to get into my bold predictions for this week one matchup, again, between the Jags and Colts right now. If you enjoy the content, though, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you can check out genjag.com/shop to pick up some new Duval gear up for this season. Really appreciate y'all being here. Bold predictions. All right, we'll start with Calvin Ridley. His debut for the Jaguars. I think it's going to be a debut to remember. 10 catches for Calvin Ridley in this one, 100 plus yards and a touchdown. That's my bold prediction for Calvin Ridley. Look, the Jaguars, they want to feature Calvin Ridley early and often. He is their best receiver, their most talented receiver. I think they want to get him going, make sure that confidence stays going in the right direction after such a long time not playing football. He's been fantastic for the Jags throughout training camp, preseason, etc. Now you get into the regular season, you want him to have a big game, and this is a great team to do it against, right? Gus Bradley in the Colts defense. Trevor Lawrence knows how to get the job done against them, and quite frankly, they just do not have the experience on the back end to contend with a true wide receiver one, like Calvin Ridley, in my opinion. So I think Calvin Ridley goes off today. That's a big, bold prediction there. 10 receptions, 100 plus yards, and a touchdown for Calvin Ridley. And then looking at his quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, as I mentioned, he's absolutely roasted the Colts the last two times they've played. He has had a completion percentage, an adjusted completion percentage of over 90 in both of those contests. I think he makes it a third straight game with an adjusted completion percentage of over 90 against the Colts. He knows how to be patient. He knows how to take what's there, especially against this Gus Bradley defense. Now, maybe there's going to be some new wrinkles in there. Week one of a new season, we'll see how that plays out. But I think he's going to have a big-time efficient completion percentage for the Jaguars in this one. Third straight game against the Colts with an adjusted completion percentage above 90 for Trevor Lawrence. Just unbelievable precision by Trevor Lawrence he showed against the Colts last year. I think that continues. They had a better secondary last year than they do right now, so I think he's going to have a big day. Speaking of quarterbacks, looking at the Colts quarterback, fourth overall pick out of the University of Florida, Anthony Richardson. I think he will have over 75 rushing yards. I think that because the Jaguars have struggled to defend rushing quarterbacks, and Anthony Richardson is one of the best athletes at the position that you'll ever find. I think he's going to have a big day on the ground. Shane Steichen, he coached Jalen Hurts against the Jaguars defense last year. Jalen Hurts had a nice day on the ground. I think Anthony Richardson will as well. I think he'll also have over 200 passing yards, which isn't a high bar to clear really in the NFL these days. But 275 total yards in your debut, pretty good overall for Anthony Richardson. I think Colts fans can feel good about that. But I think he's still only going to complete about 50% of his passes. So the passing game, I don't think it's going to be super efficient for the Colts in this one, but I do think he's going to have some big plays down the field. I think he's going to do some things with his legs. So I have Anthony Richardson with 275 plus total yards, 75 on the ground, 200 passing yards. Looking at the Jaguars defense, got a couple predictions there as well. Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen, I think they both record sacks in this game. There's been a lot of talk about the Jaguars' pass rush not being good enough, and while I'm not sure that they have the depth that they really want or need to get the job done, late in the season, into the postseason, and potentially into that game in February, I do think that against the Colts, Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen are going to come out. They're both highly motivated. Both of these guys are trying to prove that they are the leaders of this pass rush room, that they can get the job done, and that they don't need a lot of help right now. So I think Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen, they've heard a lot about this pass rush all offseason. I think they come out and have a really big game against these Colts offensive tackles and interior offensive line, right? You're going to see stunts. You're going to see movement. You're going to see these guys moving all around the line of scrimmage. I think they're going to have a big one for the Jaguars. I think Tyson Campbell is also going to get an interception in this one, right? Usually good quarterbacks, smart quarterbacks do not challenge Tyson Campbell a ton. But we've got a rookie quarterback. I think that he's going to get sloppy with one, and Tyson Campbell is going to be the recipient. You could say Andre Sisco, you could say Rayshon Jenkins potentially, Darius Williams. I'm going with Tyson Campbell, who I think is the best member of the Jaguars secondary, the best cornerback they have. I think Anthony Richardson's going to try to test him. I think it's going to be a test that Tyson Campbell passes and Anthony Richardson fails. We'll see how it plays out, but I got Tyson Campbell with a big interception in week one. And finally, score prediction. Bold prediction here. Jags win for the first time in Indy since 2017, which is also the last time the Jaguars won the division prior to 2022, right? I think it's close to a blowout. I think you look at the final score and you might not say, wow, the Colts just did not belong on the field with the Jaguars, but I think it's close to that 31-17 Jaguars, which means that the two teams hit the over on the over-under. The Jaguars, they are able to cover the spread, so I've got the Jags 31-17 over the Colts. I think that the Jaguars will be comfortable in this contest, but I think the Colts, they're going to, be able to put some points up on the board, move the ball a little bit at times. I think they're going to have some big plays. So I don't think it's going to be a complete failure in the eyes of the fans' Colts, but I don't think it's going to be a particularly close game either. Happy Jaguars season, y'all. One more sleep. Can't wait for it. I know y'all are excited too. Really appreciate you tuning in. Hit me up on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo. You can also follow Generation Jaguar at Generation Jag. Hit that like and subscribe button here on YouTube. Notification bell as well so you don't miss a show. And you can check out genjag.com/shop to pick up some new Duval gear. Y'all have a good one.